Pod Me If You Can is brought to you by The Glove by Australian author David Farrell. Head to facebook.com/theglovebook for more information.
Welcome to Pod Me If You Can. I'm David Farrell. It's episode 199 and the film is the 1989 horror film. It stars Brad Pitt. It's called Cutting Class.
Pod Me If You Can. Movie reviews.
Paula, Jill Sholin, is being left alone by her father for the week, telling her no boys in the house. Unfortunately, on his hunting trip, he's attacked by an unknown killer with a bow and arrow. Paula doesn't know this, and she's caught in a love triangle with Dwight, played by Brad Pitt, the bad boy at school, and Brian, played by Donovan Leitch, who's a bit of a loner and just got released from a mental institution. But the killer might not be done yet, as kids start dying at their school. Could it be one of the guys? It's a whodunit, and it stars Brad Pitt. So this is basically the 1989 version of what Scream would be, provided it all took place in a school. On the newspaper, the headline is, "Boy Who Killed Father Released from an Institution," which is our first clue to the murderer's identity. First and foremost, the reason we do these kinds of movies on this YouTube channel is because obscure films with famous people in them. And this one has Brad Pitt. He's the primary reason that this is probably released on DVD at all, and he's really the reason to watch this film. When he first arrives in the film, he's driving a cool car, and he nearly runs into a kid who's riding their little bike in the middle of the street. And he pulls up beside them after the fact and says, "Same time tomorrow?" before speeding away. Brad Pitt is about 24, 25 years old here, and playing a bad boy suits him. He's late for class, he's making out with Paula on the sofa. He's looking down his pants and saying things like, "I'm much bigger where it really counts." Brian, the other third of this love triangle, is from a mental institution. He's been locked up for a while. And he got electroshock therapy and is now extremely emotionless. Really, watching the film, you could make a case for either one of them being the killer. The other thing is they give a lot of screen time to the teachers and a janitor, who they really want you to believe has a screw loose. Donovan Leitch, who plays Brian, has an acting style kind of like Keanu Reeves. The teachers are lawless at this school. They are perverted, creepy, and it really feels like they're all in a bubble. The principal is a particular creep. He makes Paula bend over to pick up uniforms in his office while he looks up her skirt. The art teacher forces people to pose as models. Teachers die in very creative ways. One is impaled with a flag while jumping on a trampoline. Another one is choked, I suppose, smothered into a photocopier while the photocopier scans her face over and over again. But I kept coming back to the fact that these murders really started when Brian was released from his mental institution. So either someone's trying to frame him for the murders, or it is in fact Brian. One of the bits I really liked was in chemistry class, they're making a gas that could make your lungs melt, and he's demonstrating with various chemicals how you would do that without actually doing it. And I thought this was the most obvious foreshadowing, and that they would create said gas and subdue the killer later on when they were being pursued. But there's a sequence towards the end of the film that I won't spoil, but where somebody attempts to make the chemical gas, and it doesn't work, and it's nothing. It's not actually real. It's a red herring, and I liked how this foreshadowing earlier didn't pay off for once. The direction here is fairly average, and you get regular boom mics peeking into the top of the frame. When we do get the reveal of the killer, they make him disappear and appear way worse than any Scream movie. He appears to be able to float and disappear in and out of rooms. He never makes a footstep, and it's frustrating because it's almost laughable at times. There's a bit where they're in the school, and as they move into different areas of the school, the killer plays creepy music specifically onto the PAs of those classrooms, as if to indicate that he knows where they are. Unfortunately, the film is too lackluster to be memorable. It doesn't have any particularly amazing deaths that merit watching. The film, as well, it borders on ridiculous by the end. The way the killer is invincible and unstoppable and all-powerful. You feel like it's the kind of thing where they could shoot this person in the head and then they'd get up again almost. They just make them too powerful at times. So it's not cheesy. It's not that kind of watch it for laughs kind of movie. It's a nice little snapshot of 1989, a young Brad Pitt, and the IMDb trivia says he got engaged to his leading lady here, which I believe he also did with Juliette Lewis, and he obviously got engaged and married both Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie, so that's at least 4 proposals through Brad Pitt's life, and it's kind of the first one we're aware of, so there's that reason to watch it. It's 1989's version of Mr. and Mrs. Smith in that way. And while the film's not particularly compelling, at times it did remind me of the Mark Wahlberg, Reese Witherspoon movie Fear, that if you enjoyed, you might enjoy this. There's a lot of is my boyfriend creepy kind of thing going on. Tune in next week for Pod Me If You Can 200.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Check out our podcast at www.podmeifyoucan.com.